Hard times always had one secret weapon: the garden. During the Great Depression and World War II, families survived by planting heirloom crops that produced big harvests on little land. These vegetables were reliable, nutritious, and tough enough to endure even the harshest seasons. Today, many of them are almost forgotten, but they still hold the power to feed a family when store shelves run empty. So, here are 20 heirloom veggies that could save your family in a crisis. Kennebec Potato. The Kennebec potato was a true workhorse in Grandma's garden. Known for its smooth white skin and dependable yields, this potato could fill a cellar with food to last through winter. Families relied on it for everything from creamy mashed potatoes to hearty stews, knowing each harvest would stretch their meals further. What made it a favorite was not just its flavor, but its storage power, keeping fresh long after others spoiled. Nutritionally, it offered filling starch and potassium to keep bodies fueled during hard times. Kids remembered digging them up as if finding buried treasure, and mothers knew a sack of Kennebecs meant no one went hungry. Today, it still shines for gardeners looking for reliable, abundant food in uncertain times. It is more than a crop. It is a safeguard for the family table. Bloomsdale Long-Standing Spinach. Bloomsdale Long-Standing Spinach was one of the most trusted greens in Depression and wartime gardens. With its crinkled dark leaves and ability to resist bolting, it gave families a steady supply of fresh nutrition even as seasons turned harsh. Rich in iron, vitamins A and C, it fortified diets when meat was scarce and pennies were few. Mothers served it in simple sautés, while children were reminded to eat it to grow strong. Its reliability meant that no matter the hardship, greens were never far from the dinner table. Bloomsdale was bred to endure, and its name fit perfectly. Families knew they could plant it and count on it to stand long into the season. Today, it remains one of the finest heirloom spinaches, a leafy reminder of how perseverance and nourishment went hand in hand in tougher times. Detroit Dark Red Beet. Detroit dark red beets were a Depression-era classic because they gave families more than one kind of food from a single planting. Their deep ruby roots were sweet, earthy, and full of folate and fiber, while their tender tops cooked up like spinach, providing two vegetables in one. For families stretching every penny, that mattered greatly. Their rich color also symbolized vitality, and mothers canned them in jars that glowed like jewels on pantry shelves. Kids remembered beet salads with vinegar or slices roasted alongside potatoes, meals that carried warmth through lean winters. Nutritious, versatile, and easy to grow, the Detroit beet never asked for much but always gave plenty back. It became a staple not just for flavor but for survival. To grow it today is to rediscover the resilience of a beet crop that fed both stomachs and spirits. Scarlet Nantes Carrot. Scarlet Nantes carrots brought a burst of sweetness to Depression gardens and Victory gardens alike. Shorter and stouter than other carrots, they thrived even in poorer soils where longer roots struggled. Their bright orange color held beta-carotene, essential for vision and overall health at a time when supplements were unheard of. Families pulled them fresh for crisp snacks or boiled them into stews where their sweetness balanced bitter greens and hearty beans. Mothers loved that they stored well, keeping crunchy for months in a cool cellar. For children, harvesting Scarlet Nantes meant pulling out bright treasures from the earth, a simple joy in difficult days. Their reliability made them one of the best carrots to plant when nothing could go to waste. Today, gardeners grow them not only for their flavor, but for the heritage of strength they carry. Amish Paste Tomato. The Amish Paste Tomato has been a kitchen favorite for generations, especially during times when every meal had to stretch. Unlike watery modern tomatoes, this heirloom carried dense, meaty flesh that made it perfect for sauces, soups, and home canning. families leaned on it to preserve the taste of summer well into winter, lining pantry shelves with jars of rich red sauce. Packed with vitamin C, lycopene, and antioxidants, it gave strength and health when diets were otherwise plain. Kids grew up watching their mothers simmer these tomatoes down into hearty gravies for Sunday meals, filling the house with an aroma that clung to memory. Its productivity and flavor made it invaluable during the hardest days. Today, planting Amish paste is not just about a harvest. It is about holding on to the tradition of self-reliance and flavor. Provider bush bean. The provider bush bean was aptly named because that is exactly what it did. Families could count on it to come through with heavy yields even when weather and soil offered challenges. Its tender green pods arrived early, often before other crops, giving families a first taste of fresh vegetables in spring. They were quick to cook, packed with protein, vitamin K, and folate, all of which helped sustain hard-working bodies. For children, picking these beans meant snapping pods into baskets while sitting under summer shade, a job that felt more like play than work. Mothers loved that it froze and canned well, ensuring vegetables lasted long after the garden slowed down. In times of uncertainty, the provider lived up to its name. Growing it today continues that legacy of abundance, reliability, and nourishment straight from the soil. Waltham butternut squash. The Waltham butternut squash was a Depression and wartime staple because it delivered both sustenance and staying power. With its sweet orange flesh, it roasted into comforting meals that filled bellies with warmth during cold months. Rich in vitamin A, potassium, and fiber, it strengthened immune systems and provided long-lasting energy at a time when health meant survival. Families stored them easily, as the hard rinds kept them fresh for months in root cellars, making them a winter lifeline. Children often remembered the creamy soups and baked casseroles their mothers made from this squash, dishes that brought cheer even when times were tough. Its dependable yield and long storage made it indispensable. Today, planting Waltham butternut keeps alive a vegetable that not only nourished the body, but also reminded families of resilience and simple, hearty comfort. Early Jersey Wakefield cabbage. Early Jersey Wakefield cabbage was one of the first vegetables to appear in spring gardens, a welcome sight after a long winter of preserved foods. Its compact, pointed heads fit into small plots, making it perfect for families with limited space. Rich in vitamin C and antioxidants, it provided vital nutrients at a time when fresh produce was scarce. Mothers shredded it for coleslaw, boiled it into stews, or fermented it into sauerkraut that kept for months, bringing flavor and health to the table. Children often helped peel away the tight leaves, fascinated by the crisp sound they made. Gardeners valued its quick growth and reliability, traits that meant food could be ready sooner rather than later. To plant early Jersey Wakefield today is to honor a vegetable that carried families from scarcity into seasons of plenty. Golden Bantam corn. Golden Bantam corn became one of the most beloved sweet corns in America's gardens during the early 1900s and carried that reputation through the 1940s. Families treasured its bright yellow kernels that tasted sweeter and richer than the pale field corn once common on farms. Rich in fiber, vitamin B, and natural sugars, it nourished growing children and hard-working adults alike. Kids often remember racing into rows of tall stalks, pulling off ears still warm from the sun, and roasting them for summer suppers. Mothers canned or froze it to bring its sweetness to winter meals, a reminder of warmer days. Its reliability and unmatched flavor made it a staple in Victory Gardens, where every harvest mattered. Growing Golden Bantam today keeps alive a taste that defined summer for generations and made hard times feel just a little brighter. Cherokee purple tomato. The Cherokee purple tomato, with its dusky red-purple skin and deep, complex flavor, stood apart in a time when food had to mean more than just filling a plate. Thought to have origins with the Cherokee people, this tomato became a treasured heirloom for its meaty texture and smoky sweetness. Families relied on its richness for sandwiches, salads, and sauces, while its high levels of antioxidants and vitamin C provided strength in lean years. Children remembered biting into thick slices, sprinkled with a little salt, juices running down their chins in the summer heat. Gardeners valued it not just for yield, but for its unique character, a crop that carried history and heritage in each fruit. Planting Cherokee purple today is about preserving more than a tomato. It is about honoring tradition and savoring a flavor that nearly disappeared. Chantenay Carrot. The Chantenay Carrot earned its place in Depression and wartime gardens because it thrived where other crops failed. With its short, broad roots, it grew well, even in heavy or rocky soil, making it ideal for families with less than perfect land. Its sweet, crisp flavor delighted children who pulled them straight from the ground, brushed off dirt, and crunched them on the spot. Rich in vitamin A and beta-carotene, it strengthened eyesight and immune systems, both crucial during difficult years when diets were limited. Mothers sliced them into hearty soups and stews, their bright orange color cheering up simple meals. Gardeners loved that they stored well in cellars through the winter, a dependable source of nourishment long after the harvest. Planting Chantenay carrots today brings back a vegetable that proved resilience, flavor, and practicality could go hand in hand. Purple top white globe turnip. The purple top white globe turnip was a Depression-era survivor's crop, valued because it produced both tender roots and leafy greens. It gave families two foods in one, a trait that mattered when every harvest counted. The roots, with their mild, slightly peppery flavor, could be mashed, roasted, or added to stews, while the greens were sautéed or boiled into a vitamin-rich side. Packed with vitamin C, calcium, and fiber, they helped keep families strong when little else was available. Children remembered helping grandparents pull these round purple-capped turnips from the earth, their hands stained with soil as baskets filled quickly. It was a crop that combined abundance, adaptability, and nourishment in one plant. Growing it today is about preserving a vegetable that reminded families of resourcefulness and the comfort of simple, honest meals. Black Valentine bean. The black Valentine bean was a common sight in gardens before and during the Second World War, cherished for its reliability and versatility. With smooth black seeds and tender green pods, it offered two harvests in one. Families picked the beans young for fresh eating, then let them mature for dried storage that carried them through the lean winter months. High in protein, fiber, and minerals like iron, it strengthened diets that often lacked variety. Children often remembered shelling beans with grandparents on warm porches. The rhythm of popping pods into bowls a soothing family tradition. Its dependable yields made it one of the earliest beans to plant in spring, guaranteeing food security when supplies were uncertain. Growing black Valentine beans today recalls a time when humble foods gave families comfort, health, and peace of mind. Long Island cheese pumpkin. The Long Island cheese pumpkin, named for its flattened wheel of cheese shape, was one of the most beloved pie pumpkins of the 19th and 20th centuries. By the 1940s, it was still a cornerstone of Victory Gardens, producing sweet, dense flesh perfect for pies, breads, and stews. Rich in vitamin A, potassium, and fiber, it nourished families through fall and winter, when other foods were scarce. Its long storage life meant families could depend on it deep into the cold months, a symbol of abundance and preparation. Children recalled the warm smell of spiced pumpkin pies filling kitchens during the holidays, while mothers praised its ease of growing and dependable yields. Today, planting the Long Island cheese pumpkin is about holding on to tradition and preserving a variety that sweetened generations of family tables. Iceberg lettuce. Before it became a supermarket standard, iceberg lettuce was treasured in wartime gardens for its crisp, refreshing leaves and ability to keep longer than other lettuces once picked. Its cool crunch brightened plates of simple meals and added much-needed freshness to diets often heavy with grains and root crops. Rich in water content and providing a modest dose of vitamins A and K, it helped families stay hydrated and nourished through hot summers. Children remembered pulling the tight, round head straight from garden rows and peeling away leaves for sandwiches or quick snacks. Its sturdy nature made it popular for shipping across the country, but its charm was strongest in backyard gardens where flavor was at its peak. Growing iceberg lettuce today revives the joy of harvesting a crop that once brought both freshness and relief. Fish pepper. The fish pepper is a striking heirloom with variegated leaves and striped peppers that brought beauty as well as flavor to victory gardens. Originally popularized in African American communities in the Mid-Atlantic, it became prized for seasoning seafood dishes with its spicy kick. Its heat and flavor brightened simple meals when spices were scarce or rationed. Packed with vitamins A and C, it provided immune support and added excitement to wartime diets that could easily become repetitive. Gardeners admired its ornamental look as much as its culinary use, recalling rows of plants shimmering with green and white foliage. Children often remembered grandparents carefully drying the peppers for winter storage, a reminder that flavor and resilience mattered even in difficult times. Growing fish peppers today is about preserving both history and taste, ensuring that a vibrant tradition continues to thrive. White Wonder cucumber. The White Wonder cucumber is a true relic of the past, once cherished in Depression-era and wartime gardens for its pale ivory skin and refreshing taste. Unlike the standard green cucumbers, its unique color delighted children, who saw it as something special in the summer rose. Its crisp flesh was perfect for slicing fresh or pickling into jars that lined pantry shelves. Packed with hydration along with small but important amounts of vitamin K and antioxidants, it helped families stay nourished through long hot days. Neighbors often traded jars of pickled White Wonders as a gesture of goodwill, weaving food into community bonds. Bringing this cucumber back to life today is about more than flavor. It is about reviving a vegetable that once symbolized creativity, resilience, and the joy of turning garden harvests into lasting memories. Hollow crown parsnip. The hollow crown parsnip earned its name from its slightly indented top and its reputation for being one of the most dependable root crops in American gardens. With creamy white flesh that sweetened after the first frost, it offered families hearty nutrition in lean seasons. High in fiber, vitamin C, and potassium, it strengthened diets when fresh produce was scarce. Gardeners valued its ability to store well in root cellars, ensuring food long into the winter months. Children remembered the earthy aroma as parsnips were roasted beside meats or mashed with butter. Simple meals that warmed entire households. Its role in survival gardens was clear, providing bulk and nourishment when times were hard. Growing hollow crown parsnips today is an act of remembrance, reconnecting us to a food that carried countless families through their toughest years. Winter luxury, pie pumpkin. The winter luxury pie pumpkin was a Depression-era treasure, known for its netted skin and exceptional flavor. Unlike larger pumpkins bred for size, this heirloom was prized for its silky sweet flesh that made the finest pies and custards. Rich in vitamin A and fiber, it offered both nutrition and comfort when meals often lacked variety. Families recalled the aroma of pumpkin pies baking in wood stoves during holidays, the golden slices carrying both nourishment and joy. Its small, manageable size made it easy to grow and store, a practical choice for victory gardens that focused on both abundance and efficiency. Children often helped scoop the seeds, turning chores into traditions. Today, the winter luxury pumpkin remains one of the finest dessert pumpkins, a reminder that resilience was always sweetened with moments of simple delight. Brigham Young Melon. The Brigham Young melon was a rare heirloom once grown across American homesteads, celebrated for its juicy sweetness and refreshing flavor. Its golden flesh made it a summertime treat, one that children remembered eagerly cutting into during hot afternoons. Nutritionally, it offered hydration along with vitamins A and C, keeping families healthy while providing a welcome break from heavier garden staples. Its dependable yields and adaptability made it a trustworthy crop in uncertain times, valued for both its taste and reliability. During the Depression and wartime years, melons like this symbolized small luxuries, turning a simple meal into a celebration. Families would gather around picnic tables, passing wedges from hand to hand, a memory that carried warmth long after the season ended. Growing, Brigham Young melons today brings back the spirit of shared joy in the garden. Every one of these heirloom crops has a story, but I'd love to hear yours. Which would you bring back to your garden and why? Share in the comments, and if you'd like to discover more forgotten crops and stories from America's past, don't forget to subscribe. See you in the next video.